Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing to see cloudy conditions out there this morning with some light rain around the area. Also seeing a slight breeze continue. Seeing our peak winds the last hour up to 22 miles per hour, and those temperatures still running in the lower 70s. Overall, expecting some light precip to stick around the area as we move through, particularly the morning hours, and lingering, becoming more widely scattered as we move through the afternoon. We'll gradually see things start to dry out over the coming days with continued very slight chances of maybe a light shower or sprinkle throughout the next 72 hours. But overall, drying trend, and we'll start to see some of those winds relax as we get later into the evening as well. Take a look at our current surface analysis here, looking at a weak area of low pressure just to our south that's formed along that boundary off of the other area of low pressure we were watching that moved inland over the Carolinas. So we'll be keeping an eye on that area of low pressure as it tracks off the coast. Not expecting any significant development with that. Just going to become a broad, weak area of low pressure off the coast. But that will keep some moisture funneling into the local area and possibly support a few of those very slight chance of a light shower as we move over the coming days, and keep the breeze out of the north-northeast to north-northwest at times before that starts to move out of the area later into the weekend. We'll take a look at our upper level winds from this morning's sounding, seeing some of the stronger winds closer to the surface out of the northeast to east, around 25 to 26 knots. Quite a bit lighter as we move through the center of the column here, or the mid portion of the column here. Winds more out of the southeast to southwest, and then seeing a more southerly wind peaking back up around 25,000 feet at 27 knots. Our freezing level today is at 13,800 feet. If we look at our current local radar here, we could still seeing those light returns here in the local area at Wallops. Most of the activity is tracking from southeast to northwest, and expect that to continue as we move through the day today. Much of the activity will slowly start to shift as it is now more towards the north and west of the local region. But again, keeping that slight chance of a light shower as we move through the remainder of the day. We take a look at our current visible satellite and composite radar here. Bigger picture, looking at staying stocked in the clouds as we move through the day today. We'll start to potentially see some breaks in the cloud as we get later in the week. And as you can see here, continued showers mainly north and west of the area, and that should overall continue as we move through the daytime hours today. If we look at the short-term high-resolution model, see how things play out as we move through the day today. Again, as mentioned, we'll continue to see those light showers around the area. Slight chance of maybe a more moderate shower, or maybe even rumble of thunder or lightning around the local area as we move through the morning hours. Looking at about a 20% chance or less. Moving into the afternoon, that chance is going to diminish down to about a 10 to 15% chance, and then gradually diminish down to a low end to no end chance of seeing lightning in the area as we get later into the evening. But looking here in the afternoon, still seeing some lingering light showers and radar returns on the simulated radar here. And then going into the evening time frame, we see drying conditions over the local area. Still seeing those clouds socked in as we go through the overnight, expecting some low clouds and patchy fog to stick around the area. And as you can see, some light radar returns swinging through our local area, spinning around that area of low pressure off the coast. And that's going to be our chance of maybe a light sprinkle or shower pushing through the area as that continues as we move into the day on Thursday. We'll see, again, overall dry conditions, slight chance of an afternoon light shower or sprinkle pushing through, and then really nothing too impactful. Overall, should see those winds lighter, but still staying slightly breezy. We go overnight Thursday night into the start of the day on Friday, much of the same, just seeing some clouds around and continued chance of, or very slight chance of a light sprinkle, maybe even a light shower here or there, but overall things remaining kind of dry, possibly seeing some patchy fog early in the morning on Friday, and then things setting up to possibly break some of the cloud cover as we move into the day on Friday. If we zoom out looking at the European model here for the longer forecast, Friday looks to be mainly dry, very slight chance of an afternoon late shower or sprinkle moving through the area, but overall lowest chance of seeing any precipitation in the local area. As we move into the day on Saturday, that area of low pressure was off the coast, moving off to the south and east. We'll see a very low end chance of maybe a light shower or sprinkle here, as you can see. European model indicating some moisture in the area during the afternoon into the overnight. Not a lot of confidence in that right now. I think if we do see a shower, it will be in the PM time frame and possibly early AM time frame on Sunday. And the European indicating some moisture afternoon on Sunday. Again, just a very slight chance of any light sprinkle pushing through the area, but should see mainly dry conditions as we move through the weekend. That's what we're expecting at this time. And then dry conditions continue as we move through Monday and into Tuesday. We'll see some breezy conditions over the weekend with that area of low pressure off the coast, and should see some dry conditions to start the week next week. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we do have that red risk preset this morning as we continue to see that light rain around the area. Winds staying fairly breezy out of the northeast, 12 to 17 knots, gusting up to 24 knots. That's the expected max as we move through the daytime hours today. Right now, not quite seeing that. So we keep that yellow risk for winds that are above 25 knots, looking like a slight chance we'll see a wind advisory, but better chance that we stay out of that wind advisory criteria. Looking at a 20% chance of seeing any lightning in the area, do have that yellow risk for the morning time frame. That drops down to that 15% chance as we get into the afternoon, and then diminishes after we get past 1700 local. And as we go into the late afternoon and into the evening, we continue with that yellow risk for precip, with a continued slight chance of a light shower passing through the area. Otherwise, we'll see our high today right around 76 degrees. Going into the evening time frame, we'll see winds become lighter, slightly gusty, and then eventually becoming fairly light out of the north to north-northwest at 4 to 9 knots. So allows temperatures to cool down to around 66 degrees, and we will see a chance of some low clouds, possibly some patchy fog around the areas and move through the early morning hours. So we do keep that yellow risk for reduced ceilings and visibilities through the early Thursday morning time frame. Onshore breeze still keeping those tides about a half a foot above normal. Looking at the extended forecast here, we'll see that slight chance of an afternoon light shower pushing through tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, just slightly breezy. Looking at about 20% chance of that occurring and seeing our high around 77. That continues as we move into Friday. Once again, the high around 77 degrees. We'll see overall partly to mostly cloudy conditions and a very slight chance of that afternoon light sprinkle or shower pushing through, but expecting mainly dry conditions. Once again, as we go into Saturday, we'll see high temperature right around 77 degrees. We'll see some slightly breezier conditions once again on Saturday with that area of low pressure well off the coast, still helping to enhance that wind flow. But otherwise, just seeing mostly cloudy conditions with about a 15% chance of maybe an afternoon, evening light shower into the overnight time frame. And then we'll see a bit of a backdoor cold front kind of drop through the area with helping to cool things off slightly. Looking at our high temperatures in the low to mid 70s as we move into the end of the weekend and through next week. And we'll see our low temperatures right around 60 plus or minus a couple degrees. But overall, looking at dry conditions, we should start to see a break in some of the cloud cover as we get into the start of next week. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.